Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the English Daily Book Summary YouTube channel. In order to not stop learning, listen to an English book summary every day for free.
Dean Karanian and Joanne Garben. The Insider's Guide to Innovation at Microsoft. Lessons from Microsoft's biggest innovation, wins and failures. Innovation isn't magical, it's methodical. The most consistently innovative companies don't rely on flashes of genius or lone inventors working in isolation. They build systems that make creativity predictable, sustainable, and widespread. For decades, Microsoft has created groundbreaking products across widely different domains: gaming consoles, development tools, productivity software, search engines, and artificial intelligence. Behind this diverse portfolio lies a common approach to innovation that any organization can adopt. In this blink, you'll discover how Microsoft drives innovation across its iconic products. From Xbox's gaming revolution to Bing's competition with Google, you'll learn how Microsoft transformed established markets, navigated defeats, and balanced technological advancement with responsibility. Let's start with how Xbox's unexpected journey reveals the surprising foundation of sustainable innovation. Xbox's player-centered culture created gaming breakthroughs. Behind Microsoft's Xbox gaming empire lies an often overlooked innovation driver: organizational culture. When the Xbox team formed in the late 1990s, the selected individuals weren't traditional Microsoft employees. They were passionate gamers who lived and breathed video games. Their authentic connection to gaming helped them build a platform that genuinely served players' and developers' needs. This culture-first approach yielded significant innovations. In 2002, Microsoft launched Xbox Live, pioneering cloud gaming and social networking years before Facebook existed, when most internet users spent less than an hour online daily. As Xbox grew, leadership recognized the need for cultural evolution. It eliminated siloed business units and created a unified financial structure where all profits and losses were managed together. Decision-making shifted to frontline teams while leaders moved from directing to coaching. The team followed a framework balancing business, experience, and technology. In its early days, it emphasized experience, creating products gamers truly loved. During growth, it prioritized business strategies and profitability while still maintaining strong user experiences and leveraging technology effectively. However, when it lost this balance with Xbox One in 2013, the results were disastrous. The Xbox One launch bundled unwanted features at $499, causing customers to choose Sony's $399 PlayStation 4 instead. Recovery came through cultural recommitment. Leadership implemented monthly updates instead of annual releases and created direct customer feedback systems. This resilience enabled Xbox to launch Game Pass, a subscription service offering hundreds of titles for a monthly fee. Many worried this model would destroy Xbox's existing business, but the team persisted, treating culture as a product to be designed and tested. Its onboarding program, which grew from 50 to 7,000 participants, immersed new hires in Xbox's values and lessons from both successes and failures. Xbox demonstrates that culture isn't just about team building, it's the foundation for sustained innovation. Visual Studio Code proved Microsoft can disrupt itself. Successful companies often fail to innovate because they're too focused on their existing customers to recognize emerging markets with different needs. This painful choice between serving current customers or risking everything on future trends is known as the innovator's dilemma. In 2011, Microsoft faced this exact challenge. Its flagship Visual Studio dominated development for Windows applications, but a new generation of web-focused programmers was emerging who preferred simpler, specialized tools over comprehensive environments. These developers often worked on non-Windows computers and built applications for multiple platforms, a segment Microsoft's existing product wasn't designed to serve. Rather than merely adding features to Visual Studio or dismissing this trend as insignificant, Microsoft executives Scott Guthrie and Jason Zander recognized a strategic opportunity. They created a separate team within Microsoft's developer division with a clear mission: build something entirely new for these web-native developers. IBM engineer Erich Gamma was recruited to lead this startup within a company based in Zurich, Switzerland, far from corporate headquarters. With just 10 developers initially, this team shipped its first release just 3 months after formation and maintained a ship quality every month motto without fail for over a decade. Its unconventional recruitment approaches included 2-day collaborative coding interviews where candidates built actual product features alongside team members instead of answering theoretical questions. In 2015, the team made Visual Studio Code open source on GitHub, publicly sharing development plans and roadmaps. It practiced dog fooding, extensively using its own software daily, maintaining both stable monthly releases and experimental insider builds. This close connection with users fueled growth to 70% market share among professional developers with remarkably lean operations. At one point, just 17 team members supported 9 million users. Microsoft avoided the typical innovator's dilemma trap by creating cross-dependencies between Visual Studio and VS Code, with shared components and complementary positioning. This strategic self-disruption allowed them to capture an emerging market while protecting their established business. Office's design revolution transformed legacy software. Sometimes the boldest innovation comes not from creating something new, but from reimagining something established. Between 2018 and 2023, Microsoft Office, a product that had existed for nearly 35 years, evolved from a legacy application focused on incremental updates into a showcase for Microsoft's AI vision. When Sumit Chauhan became head of product for Word and PowerPoint in 2018, she recognized that adding more features wasn't the solution. Most users only engaged with a small portion of Office's capabilities. Instead, she made the radical declaration, no new features. The team would focus on unlocking value in existing functionality. This philosophy led to the first major organizational change, elevating designers to equal footing with engineers in the product development process. The traditional Great Pyramid of developer, tester, and program manager was restructured, replacing the tester role with a designer. For the first time, design had the final say about how the product would work. The team established a clear guiding principle: one click to a stunning outcome. Rather than expecting users to spend 30 minutes perfecting a presentation, Office would deliver professional quality results instantly. To measure success, it abandoned traditional metrics like shipping dates and feature counts in favor of a simple but powerful signal: kept rate. When Word suggested a sentence completion or PowerPoint proposed a design, did users keep it? This data proved convincing as adoption rates climbed. Engineering created Augmentation Loop, a software layer that removed the complexity of individual Office applications and enabled AI features to deploy quickly across the entire suite. Within a few years, 150 advanced AI capabilities reached over 1 billion users. These changes positioned Office perfectly for the generative AI revolution in 2022. Previous investments in continuous shipping and design thinking allowed Microsoft to rapidly integrate powerful AI models under the name Copilot, emphasizing that the user, not the AI, remained at the center of the experience. By understanding that value comes from feature usage rather than feature quantity, Microsoft brought new life to one of its oldest products. Cognitive services turned mobile defeat into AI victory. Bill Gates called it the biggest mistake of his Microsoft career, losing the mobile platform war despite Windows commanding over 90% of the desktop market. By 2015, Windows Mobile Microsoft's smartphone operating system that once competed with iOS and Android was dead. And with it went Microsoft's direct access to the valuable swipes and taps that generated mobile user data. But a small team refused to accept defeat. Led by Harry Shum, Executive VP of AI and Research, and his advisor, Yu-Ting Kuo, it developed a new strategy. If Microsoft couldn't win mobile users directly, perhaps it could win the developers who built mobile applications. In February 2015, Project Oxford was born with an ambitious plan: create cloud-hosted AI services that developers could use in their apps. By April, the team was already showcasing early tools at Microsoft's Build conference. Its proposition was straightforward: free access to Microsoft's AI capabilities in exchange for data that would improve these services. What made this project remarkable was its unconventional approach to team building. With limited headcount, Yu-Ting assembled primarily junior staff and borrowed fractions of other employees' time across the company, essentially getting 20% from 100 different people. These junior team members found themselves presenting to Bill Gates and standing alongside CEO Satya Nadella far earlier in their careers than typically possible. By 2016, Project Oxford had become Microsoft Cognitive Services and earned a spot on the main stage. The initiative bridged Microsoft's substantial AI research with practical applications, laying groundwork for future partnerships like the one with OpenAI. From Microsoft's biggest defeat emerged one of its most significant innovations, proving that sometimes the way forward lies in an entirely new direction. Microsoft Research built strong bridges between invention and products. Corporate research labs frequently create groundbreaking innovations that never benefit their own companies. Kodak invented the digital camera but shelved it to protect film sales. Xerox developed technologies that Apple and Microsoft later used to dominate personal computing. These cautionary tales highlight a common failure: the inability to bridge the gap between research and commercial products. Microsoft Research, or MSR, has largely avoided this trap since its founding in 1991, when Bill Gates and Nathan Myhrvold recruited Carnegie Mellon professor Rick Rashid to lead the lab. Rashid's approach began with a clear mission statement that balanced scientific advancement with practical application. The team sought researchers who paired scientific excellence with a focus on application. This dual requirement guided its unconventional hiring process, replacing standard interviews with multi-day immersions at Microsoft. By 1997, MSR contributed up to 20% of papers at leading computer science conferences, while simultaneously delivering innovations like memory management techniques for Windows 95 and text display technologies that enhanced readability on screens. MSR wasn't immune to missed opportunities. It developed smartphone prototypes with features later popularized by the iPhone, but Microsoft's Windows Mobile strategy faltered against Apple and Google. This painful lesson sparked new approaches to technology transfer that MSR still uses today. One key innovation was creating stepping stones that break ambitious research into interim outputs aligned with product timelines. These stepping stones help bridge the gap between long-term research and product teams' shorter horizons. Twice a year, these groups get together for multi-day workshops where they build shared understanding and identify new partnership opportunities. MSR's success emphasizes the importance of boundary crossers, individuals who naturally work across organizational lines, helping maintain momentum between formal engagements. When everything works well, traditional divisions between research and product development disappear as everyone unites around shared goals. This bridging of research and product serves as the foundation for Microsoft's continuous innovation. Bing deployed asymmetric strategy against Google search dominance. In the Bible story, David toppled Goliath with a sling and stone. Microsoft's Bing took on Google's search market dominance with strategic innovation and digital technology. This tale of how a perpetual second-place contender changed the rules of competition offers powerful lessons in innovation. Microsoft had once mastered copying and improving competitors' innovations, a strategy known as fast following. This approach worked spectacularly when Internet Explorer overtook Netscape Navigator's 90% browser market share in 1998. But Google proved different. Its PageRank algorithm, combined with the revolutionary AdWords business model, created a self-reinforcing growth cycle that seemed unbreakable. By 2012, Google commanded 90% of global search, while Bing languished below 5%. Instead of giving up or trying to outspend Google, Microsoft executives made a surprising decision. Bing would operate on a small budget while still growing market share and offering its innovations to other Microsoft teams. Bing built a mission-driven culture around being the democratic counterweight to Google's information monopoly. The team developed specialized recruiting practices like open-ended interview schedules and abrupt topic changes to find candidates who thrived in ambiguity and embraced the underdog position. It replaced traditional product launches with flights, small, time-bound feature releases to test user response. In review meetings, teams analyzed results without blame, treating failures as learning opportunities. This approach worked remarkably well. Bing has grown its market share every quarter since 2009, reaching 38.5% of PC searches in America. In 2012, Bing made a bold bet on deep learning technology while Google relied on traditional approaches. With just 4 engineers, Bing created AI systems that eventually matched Google's search quality despite having far fewer resources. These innovations didn't stay within Bing. Over 100 machine learning models were shared across Microsoft. The Bing story demonstrates that even against overwhelming odds, constraints can drive creativity when paired with clear mission, cultural alignment, and a willingness to bet on emerging technologies. Microsoft's path to responsible innovation. In 2022, OpenAI developed DALL-E 2, an AI system capable of creating stunning images from text descriptions. While Microsoft and OpenAI worked methodically on safety measures, a startup called Stability AI released Stable Diffusion with no guardrails whatsoever. It even open-sourced the code, allowing unrestricted creation of harmful, explicit, or biased imagery with no way to recall the technology if problems arose. This situation highlighted a fundamental tension in technology development. Innovate too cautiously, and competitors will outpace you. Rush recklessly, and you risk causing serious harm. Microsoft has worked to navigate this challenge. Since 2002, when Bill Gates prioritized security after major virus attacks, the company has built comprehensive approaches to security, accessibility, privacy, responsible AI, and environmental sustainability. From the Xbox Adaptive Controller to proactive GDPR adoption, these efforts share a common goal: advancing technology while protecting users and society. Through these initiatives, Microsoft has discovered 4 consistent success factors. First, it establishes small, helpful teams to avoid triggering organizational resistance. These groups, like the Ether Committee formed in 2017 for AI safety, start as advisory hubs working with early adopters before expanding. Second, it shifts left by treating responsibility as a product feature rather than compliance requirement, a practice called featureization. This includes experiential learning techniques like having developers navigate products using only screen readers. Third, Microsoft provides tools before mandating standards. The trustworthy computing team spent over a year building security testing tools before making security requirements compulsory. The accessibility team created automated UI checking tools for developers. All standards were extensively piloted before becoming requirements. Fourth, it connects top-down executive leadership, bottom-up employee champions, and outside-in public commitments. Executive scorecards include responsibility metrics, while grassroots champions advocate within teams. Public statements, like Microsoft's 14 voluntary AI commitments to the Biden administration in 2023, create accountability and internal alignment. This balanced approach was put to the test when integrating GPT-4. Microsoft deliberately delayed its release until appropriate safeguards were implemented, demonstrating that in today's interconnected world, responsibility isn't just ethical, it's a strategic advantage. The main takeaway of this blink to the Insider's Guide to Innovation at Microsoft by Dean Carignan and Joanne Garbin is that innovation succeeds through intentional systems rather than random breakthroughs. Microsoft's journey across its wide range of products reveals consistent patterns. Build the right culture, embrace self-disruption, focus on user experience, transform defeats into opportunities, create bridges between research and products, deploy asymmetric strategies against stronger competitors, and balance speed with responsibility. These approaches aren't reserved for tech giants. Any organization can apply these principles to develop its innovation capabilities. By building these systematic approaches to creativity, companies can transform challenges into breakthroughs that create lasting value for customers and society. Okay, that's it for this blink. We hope you enjoyed it. If you can, please take the time to leave us a rating. We always appreciate your feedback. See you in the next blink.